This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, so let's get into the session.
Mhm.
So yesterday, yeah, please. Any questions?
No.
Okay, so yesterday we discussed about data warehouse. What is the role of data warehouse? And in the data warehouse, what is the role of ETL? This is what we discussed in the last session. So as an ETL developer, you're going to load the data into the table structures, which are designed by data architect. All right, and those table structures are called as dimensions and facts. So most of the cases when you're working with an Informatica project, you'll be loading the data into dimensions and facts. Okay, so today we'll see the architecture of Informatica. So Informatica Power Center is a powerful ETL tool which is used to extract the data from multiple source systems, transform the data as per the business requirement, and load the data into target systems. So a target system, a system where you load the data is called as target system. So who is going to design the target system? A target system is designed by data architect. So what the target system consists all about? It consists collection of dimension tables and fact tables. So the role of an ETL developer is to load the data into the table structures which are designed by data architect. So to load the data into those table structures, we need to know which source systems are going to provide the data. A system which provides the data is called as source system. A system where you load the data is called as target system. So your source system can be database, flag files, SQL Server, COBOL files, web services or web providers. It can be anything. So Informatica is a powerful ETL tool which is used to extract the data across different source systems and load the data into target systems. Informatica comes with client and server components. Whatever platform you take, it comes with client and server components. As you know, client components are used to develop the code, whereas servers are used to execute the code what you develop. Informatica comes with client and server platform. So the different client components in Informatica Power Center are repository manager, mapping designer, workflow manager, workflow monitor. These are the different Power Center client components. There are two kinds of servers. One is called repository service. Other one is called integration service. Okay. So first we'll discuss about the client components. Once we are done with the client components, we are going to discuss about the server components. The very first client component in Informatica Power Center is repository manager. So what you're going to do with repository manager? You're going to create a folder and you're going to assign privileges to the users. A lot of things are done in repository manager. But at this point of time, just try to understand you are going to create a folder. So what is this folder all about? So when you're working in a project, there will be some n number of developers. Some team will be working on some set of code, other team will be working on some other set of codes, etc. So the team who is working on a specific set of code will be working at some location that is called as folder. So that respective team has the complete full privileges on the folder which they are developing the code. And on the other folders, you need to give the team members read access, but not edit access. So this kind of things you do with repository manager. A repository manager is a client component. Repository manager is a client administrative component where you create folder and where you assign privileges to the users. Power Center Mapping Designer, the next client component. This is a very important client component as a developer perspective. Power Center Mapping Designer where you create a mapping. A mapping is a data flow diagram which tells us how data flow from source to target. A mapping is a data flow diagram which tells us how data flow from source to target. So what all things you require to create a mapping? To create a mapping, you require source, you require target. Here, one thing what you need to understand, Informatica is a GUI tool. It doesn't contain any storage area. So whatever code you're going to develop in Informatica, it has to store in some location. But by default, Informatica doesn't have any storage area. For this reason, whenever you want to install Informatica in your local machine, it's mandatory. You need to have a database. It takes an help of database. So I installed Oracle database in our training session. So whatever code I'm going to develop using Informatica Power Center, that is going to store it in database. That database is called as repository database. That database is called as repository database. So what is repository database? A central metadata storage area. A central metadata storage area is called as repository database. It doesn't contain any data. It just contains the table structures. Repository database is a central metadata storage place which contains the table structures. Okay, so whatever code you're going to develop using client components, everything is going to store it in repository database. Okay, so now let me talk about Power Center Mapping Designer. So to create a mapping, you require source table structure and you require a target table structure. So where are your source and targets? So your source, it can be in a database, it can be a flat file, it can be a mainframe system, it can be anything. So how do you going to connect Informatica with, let us assume my source is coming from Oracle database. So how Informatica is going to interact with Oracle database? You need to create ODBC connection, Open Database Connectivity. You need to create a source ODBC connection which access to the source system. From that system, you can import the source table structure. You won't be getting any data at this point of time. You'll be getting the table structures. And you need to create a target ODBC connection to connect to the target system and import the target table structure. Once you get source table structure and target table structure, you need to save it. As soon as you save it in Power Center Mapping Designer, in the backend, those table structures are going to store in repository database. But how they are going to store? Okay, here comes repository server. The role of repository server is it's a communication layer between client components and repository database. A repository server is a communication layer between client components and repository database. Okay, so whenever you develop something in the client components and when you click on Control S, then what happens? Servers always execute in the backend, right? So what happens in the backend? A repository server connects to the repository database using repository service processes, which checks the validation, which user is trying to save the code, whether that user has saved privilege, and whether the user is saving a valid code, etc. So repository server has a process that is called as repository service process. You can call it as an agent, which checks the validations and saves the code in the repository database. So once you get source table structure and you get target table structure, you're going to create a mapping. Mapping is a data flow diagram which tells us how data flow from source to target, right? So what all code is stored in your repository database? Folder name, source table structure, target table structure, and mapping. So what all code you're going to develop using client components, everything is going to store in repository database. The next client component would be workflow manager. So what you're going to do using Workflow Manager. In the Workflow Manager, you're going to create a session. So what do you mean by session? A session is a set of instructions which tells us how to execute the mapping. Okay, so you have created a mapping, but you know how data is extracted and how the data is loaded. Someone has to write insert scripts, right? For writing an insert scripts, someone has to commit the data. So who is going to do this? Session is going to do this. Okay, Session will do a lot more than this, but just a high level explanation. A session is a set of instructions which tells us how to execute the mapping. Session contains mapping. Mapping contains source and target. There are two types of connections in Informatica. One is called ODBC connections. Other one is called relational connections. ODBC connections are created in the mapping designer, whereas relational connections are created in the workflow manager. What is the difference between them? ODBC connections, open database connections, which are created at the mapping designer level, are used to import source and target table structures. The relational connections, which are created at the workflow manager level, are used to extract the data and load the data. I hope you people understand what is the difference between ODBC connections and relational connections. Okay. So once you're done with session, you need to create a start task. That start task is called as workflow. Workflow contains session. Session contains mapping. Mapping contains source and target. So what all code you're going to develop using Informatica client components, everything is going to store it in repository database. Now what all code your repository database contains? Workflow, session, relational connections, ODBC connections, source table structure, target ODBC connection, target table structure, and the folder name. On a whole, what all code you developed using client component, everything is stored in repository database. So how can I define a repository database? It's a central metadata storage area. It's a central metadata storage area. Okay. So next comes workflow monitor. So the name tells you monitoring the code. Okay. So when you start the workflow in the workflow manager, when you start the workflow in the workflow manager, integration service comes into the picture. This is the heart of Informatica. When you start workflow in the workflow manager, integration service comes into the picture. This is the heart of Informatica. So what integration service is going to do? Integration service connects to the repository service. Repository service connects to the repository database using repository service processes, which checks the validation, like which user is executing the code, whether that user has execute privilege, and whether that user is executing the valid code, etc. It checks all the validation and it extracts the metadata from the repository database, what you developed using client components and stored it in repository database. It gets that metadata into the integration service buffer. Buffer is nothing but a temporary memory storage area. It gets into the integration service buffer. Then looking at the code, integration service is going to extract the data from source systems, transform the data as per the business logic built in the client components and saved it in repository database, and it is going to load the data into target systems. These all things you can monitor in a client component called as workflow monitor. So what all things you can monitor? Which source database Informatica has connected, which table Informatica is extracting, how many records are read from source system, are there any rejections while reading the data from source system, which target system Informatica has connected, are there any rejections while loading the data into target system, how many records got loaded into target system, whether the job got succeeded or failed. These all things you can monitor in a client component called as workflow monitor. And here you see something called as administration console. Administration console is a thin web-based client component. Administration console is a thin web-based component where you can monitor the services. It's a web-based component where you can monitor the services. What services? Integration service and repository service. You can log into administration console and you can check whether the services are up and running fine. Okay. So the heart of Informatica is integration service. So what is the role of integration service? The role of integration service is used to perform abstraction, transformation, loading. So what is the role of repository service? A repository service is a communication layer between client components and database, as well as integration service with database. What happens if repository database is down? If repository database is down, what happens if repository service is down? If repository service is down, you can't access the client components. Okay. If integration service is down and your repository service is up, you can connect to the client components. You can develop the code, but the things what you developed, you can't execute it. Okay. So this is the architecture of Informatica PowerCenter. Okay, so let me quickly summarize what all I discussed, then I'll get into tool where I show you practically how to abstract, how to load, how Informatica is used as an ETL tool. So as I told you, Informatica comes with client and server components. The client components are repository manager, mapping designer, workflow manager, and workflow monitor. The services are integration service, repository service. We have a database that is called as repository database. The repository database is a central metadata storage area. What all code you're going to develop using client components, everything is going to store in repository database. Repository manager is an administrative client component where you create a folder and where you assign privileges to the users. PowerCenter mapping designer, where you're going to create a mapping. A mapping is a data flow diagram which tells us how data flow from source to target. To create a mapping, you require a source ODBC connection. To import the source table structure, you require a target ODBC connection to import the target table structure. Once you get source table structure and target table structure, you're going to create a mapping. A mapping is a data flow diagram which tells us how data flow from source to target. Then what you do? What all code you develop, you have to save it in repository database. Repository service is a communication layer between client components and repository database. Next comes workflow manager. In a workflow manager, you're going to create a session. A session is a set of instructions which tells us how to execute the mapping. Session contains mapping, mapping contains source and target, right? So once you create a session, you require a start task. That start task is called as workflow. A workflow which is used to trigger the session. What happens when you start the workflow? The heart of Informatica, that is integration service, comes into the picture. Integration service connects to the repository service. Repository service connects to the repository database using repository service processes, which checks the validations and extracts the code from repository database and gets into the integration service buffer. Using relational connections, it is going to extract the data from source system, transform the data as per the business requirement, and load the data into target systems. These all things you can see it in a client component that is called as workflow monitor. Administration console is a web-based client component where you can monitor the services. If the services are up and running fine or not. So this is the architecture of Informatica. Now what I explained, I'm going to show you in the tool. The first thing what you need to ensure Informatica services are up and running fine. Yeah, please.
Can you present that slide, like architecture slide? Okay, here you said administration control. Is it part of server or client? Like
it's part of, like, it's a web-based client component where you can monitor the services.
Oh, okay. So who will have the access? Like as a developer, I will have the access
Generally,
for system monitor, or
admin has access. Admin has access to the administration console and repository manager.
okay. So that repository is whatever you said, like the metadata will get stored. Whatever we build, that store in the format of metadata in the repository server, right?
Repository database.
Repository database. So that database comes like with Oracle, or is it like a part of Power
It
Center?
can be installed in any database.
Oh, okay. So it's a separate component they have to install.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
The first thing what you need to monitor whether the Oracle services, as I told, I'm using database as Oracle. The first thing you need to monitor whether your Oracle database is up and running fine. So this is the first point. Then you need to check whether your Informatica services is up and running fine. So my Informatica is also up. Okay. So what I'll do? Very simple. So here we don't have a separate data modeler. So my motive is to show you using Informatica as an ETL tool, how to extract the data from one schema and load data into another schema. Nothing but how to extract the data from one system and load the data into another system. I'm using database as Oracle. Okay. So when you install Oracle database, you'll be getting default schemas like system, sys, sysdba, scott, hr. Okay. So among them, one of the schema is HR. So this is created at the time, I mean, by default, the schema is created. So in this HR schema, you'll be having set of tables like employees, jobs, departments, etc. So what I'll do, I'll be taking my employee table as source. I'll be taking employee table as source. Let me connect to the HR schema and show you. So as soon as you install Oracle database, you'll be getting the default schema called as HR. So Toad, I think you people know this. It's a GUI tool which accesses Oracle database.
Is it similar like SQL Developer?
Perfect, absolutely. You can use either SQL Developer or Toad.
Okay.
So if you see here, these are the default tables what you get when you install Oracle. Okay, so here I'm taking source as employees. Okay, prior to that, I need to create a target system. If you remember the last session, I told you, a data architect is going to interact with the business and gathers all the requirements and is going to design a plan. That plan contains collection of table structures. Those table structures are called as dimensions and facts. So when you're working with Informatica, most of the cases you'll be working with a data warehouse project. Your responsibility would be where you load the data into dimensions and facts. But as is a training session, I don't have a separate data architect. So I'm creating a requirement on my own. So what I'm doing here, I'm assuming, I'm going to create a schema and I'll assume it as my target system. I'll be creating a schema with the name something like DWH underscore some name, TGT, something like this. Okay, this will be my target system. And in this system, I'm going to create a table with the name EMP underscore simple pass. Okay, so my motive is I would like to show you how to extract the data from one system and load data into another system. Okay, so my employee table structure would be similar to employee table structure in HR schema. My employee underscore SP simple path table structure will be similar to the employee table in the HR schema. Okay. So first thing what I'm going to do, see this all you aren't going to do it in real time. As it's a training session, I'm creating this. First of all, what you need to do, you need to create a user or you need to create a schema, right? With what schema name you need to create? I would like to create a schema or a user with the name DWH underscore TGT, something like this. Okay. So how are you going to create a user? To create a user, you need to connect to the system schema because it has a complete admin access. So you need to connect to the system schema. System schema is also a default schema, what you get when you install Oracle database. But when you're working in real time, you are not going to create the target system, right? A target system is already designed. It is designed by data architect. So what is your job? Your job is to load the data into the table structures which are designed by data architect. So here, as it's a training session, I'm myself creating target system, and I'm telling to get the data to load the data into the target system, you need to pull data from a specific source systems. Okay, so create username. So what will be the username? Something like this: DWH_TGT, something like this, identified by password. Okay, password also I'll give same as username. Okay, so user got created. Next, grant DBA to that particular user, DWH_TGT11. So if you want to insert, update, delete, select, you require privileges. So I'm giving complete admin privileges to this particular user. Okay, now let me connect to the user what I created. I created a schema or a user or a target system with the name something like this, and the password is also same. Okay, click connect. So here I would like to create a table with the name emp_simplepass, and the table structure will be same as a table structure in my in my source schema, and the table would be employee. I would like to create a table structure with similar structure of this employees. Okay, so I'll just copy the script, create table name, all those blah blah blah. I'll copy the script. Okay, Control C. Okay, I just have the metadata. I don't have data in it. I just have the metadata, right? So what is my role? Now what I need to do, I need to use an ETL tool, and I need to connect to the HR schema. Okay, I need to connect to the HR schema, and I need to extract the data from employee table. Okay. I need to extract the data from employee table. I need to extract the data from employee table, and I need to connect to this particular schema, which I'm assuming as target system, and I need to load data into this particular table structure. So here, I'm not applying any transformations. What I'm doing here, I'm just extracting the data and I'm loading the data. In the next session, I'll be explaining you what is transformation, what are the different types of transformations are there, and how we have to use them. Okay, so in this session, as it's a demo, I'm just going to show you using Informatica Power Center as an ETL tool, how to extract the data from one system and load data into another system. Any questions as of now? Any questions as of now? You understand, right, what I'm trying to do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're not following me, or if you have any questions, stop me right away. I don't mind. Okay, so the first client component in Informatica is, see, this all you'll be getting from data architect. So from now, your responsibility is going to start. As it's a training session, we don't have a data architect. That's the reason I'm creating a target system, and I'm creating a table structure, and I myself giving you a requirement saying this is the table structure what you need to load, and this is the source system which provides the data, and these are the credentials. Use Informatica as an ETL tool, extract and load. That's it. Okay, so all the requirements I myself creating here. Okay, the first
So
client.
sorry, Vamsi. Yes. Like, so the data architecture will give like source and target with the layout, like, okay, this data from this table to that, for example, target table, or is it like field which they will give? Like,
they'll give you each and every requirement, like, you know, what if it's database, what are the credentials to access the database, and what are the credentials to access the target database, which table you need to load, what is the source system which provides the data, do you need to directly extract and load it, or else after you extract, before you load the data into target system, what transformation logic you need to apply, etc. They'll give you each and every input. That document is called as ETL technical specification document. So as a developer, you'll be following that document and you'll be developing the code.
Oh, they give the logic and transformation also in that?
They don't tell you use this transformation, they give you logic. If they don't give you logic, how are you going to implement it? Because they are the persons who interact with the business, right? They collect the requirements. So they are going to tell you. As I told you in the last session, in the yesterday's session, what I told you, like civil engineer is going to, as I walk into the civil engineer and he's going to gather all my requirements and he's going to design the plan, right? So contractor doesn't know if contractor gets stuck up anywhere, what he's going to do? He will get a clarity from civil engineer. Why? Because civil engineer is the person who interacted with the customer. Am I right?
Got it.
Same. You can relate with that example. So data architect is a person who interacted with the business. So data architect knows end to end what client is expecting, right? So data architect is the person who is going to provide you all the inputs in the form of an Excel sheet that is called ETL technical specification document. So everything is documented over there.
Okay.
Non-specific ETL tool, a high-level explanation. He won't give you complete logic. Okay, so he'll explain you high-level what you need to do, and you need to convert into Informatica logic. Okay. So the first client component in Informatica is repository manager. The first client component is repository manager, right? So this is the first client component. So what is the role of repository manager? Lot of, like, you can do a lot of more things in repository manager, but at this point of time I'll just show you how to create a folder. That's it. You can do a lot more things in repository manager, but I'll explain you going forward in the coming sessions. Okay, so this is my repository database. This is created at the time of installation. I'll share you softwares as well as my installation recorded session so that you can install in your local machines. Right click, connect. So username is administrator. Password is also administrator. Okay, so I'm going to create a folder, and what all code I'm going to develop in this particular session that is going to store in this specific folder. Okay, the folder name would be, it's up to you. You can give any name. I would like to give something like class 2. Click OK. So this is the folder where I'm going to develop the code. So what will be the next client component? Power Center Mapping Designer. So how are you going to connect? Start, all programs, Informatica, Mapping Designer. See, I'm providing training on 9.6, but it doesn't make any difference if you're getting trained on 9.6 or 10.1 or 10.2, because the same concepts I'm going to explain even if I train on 10.1. Okay. To explain the enhancements in 10.1, you require environment which no trainer can't provide. So you don't worry about the version. Okay. So from here you can connect to the client component, or else from here you can connect. Okay, it's a shortcut. So what I need to do in Power Center Mapping Designer? In Power Center Mapping Designer, you need to create a mapping. So how are you going to create a mapping? To create a mapping, you require table structures. So where are they? My source is in HR schema, and my target is in DWH_TGT11 schema. So how I'm going to connect to the source and target? So you need to create ODBC connections, right? A source ODBC connection is created to import the source table structure. A target ODBC connections is created to import the target table structure, right? So go to the mapping designer. So which folder I need to work? This is the folder where I'm going to work. So what I need to do? I need to import the table structures, right? So click on tools, click on source analyzer. As soon as you click on source analyzer, you'll be getting the sources. And as soon as you click on target designer, you'll be getting the targets. So here I need to first let me import source table structure. So let me click on source analyzer. I'll be getting a sources over here. Click on sources. Where is my source? Is it in database or file or COBOL file or XML file or PeopleSoft database or web provider? My source is in database, right? Which database? Oracle database, right? So let me click on import from database. If you think I'm going fast, stop me. I don't mind. Click on import from database. So what I need to do, I need to create a source ODBC connection, right? So how to create a source ODBC connection? You can see a ODBC data source. Click on this ellipse button. This is called ellipse. Click on add. So my database is Oracle. Select ODBC driver. Click on finish. So give a name. It's up to you. You can give whatever name comes to your mind. So let me give something like DWH underscore something like HR. Host will be your system name, local host. Database port number is 1521. It is your service name. It would be HC. Okay. So click on test connection. So username is HR. Password is HR. Click on OK. So what this tells me?
Case sensitive or?
Yeah, it's a case sensitive. I have given password in lowercase. That's the reason I entered lowercase HR.
Okay, and that port number is fixed, like 1521 or?
See, Oracle database by default it's 1521, but in your real-time environment, it depends upon what port number is open in your server machine, in your project server machine. By default, Oracle database port number is 1521. It's fixed.
Okay.
Okay. So what this tells me? This tells me Informatica is able to establish a connection between your source database and Informatica tool, right? So click OK. Click apply. Click OK. Now click OK. From this drop down, select the ODBC connection what you just created. Is this the connection what I created? DWH underscore HR. So what would be the username? Username would be HR. And what would be the password? Password would be HR in lowercase, what I have given. Click on connect. So what this tells me, Informatica has established a successful connection to the source database. And you can see here that this is the schema what Informatica has established a connection. As you know, schema contains collection of table structures. So which table do I require? I require employees table. Click OK. Now, are you getting JACHA? No, I'm getting only metadata. I'm getting only table structure. Okay. So whatever code you develop in Informatica client component, you need to save it. So guys, what is going to happen in the backend when I click on save? Repository server comes into the picture. Repository server connects to the repository database using repository service processes, which checks the validations and saves the code in repository database. What all validations it do, it is going to pop up messages here. So your source is ready, guys. So what next? You need to create target. So how to create a target? Click on tools, click on target designer, click on targets, follow the same steps. So where is my target? My target is in database. Import from database. So how are you going to access your target database? You require an ODBC connection. So how are you going to create an ODBC connection? Click on this ellipse button. Click on this add. Select your database driver. Click on finish. Give a name. It's up to you. TGT underscore DWH11. Okay. Host name is the system name, local host. Database port number is a 1521. SID is nothing but service name. Click test connection, enter the credentials and check whether it's able to establish a successful connection or not. Yes. Click OK. Click on apply. Click on OK. Click OK. This on practice you'll be getting it. Just watch the recorded session 2 to 3 times. You will understand the flow. It's not a complicated thing. It's very simple. So DWH underscore TGT underscore DWH11, right? So give the credentials.
So these things like in real time they will provide, right? This username and password and ODBC, everything will be configured in our system what they have given, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So you can see here, it has connected to TWH underscore TGT11. And my table is, this is the table structure what I require, right? Click OK. Whatever code you develop in client components, you need to save it. So your source is ready, your target is ready. So what will be the next step? The next step would be you need to create a mapping. So how to create the mapping? Guys, just hold on, please. Next step would be you need to create the mappings. So how are you going to create the mapping? Click on tools, click on mapping designer. Okay. So when you click on mapping designer, you'll be getting a tab called as mappings. Click on create. Okay. So mapping, you need to follow the naming standards. M followed by which table are you trying to load? I'm trying to load into this particular table structure. EMP underscore simple pass. I'm just extracting the data and I'm dumping the data, right? So EMP underscore SP. Click OK. So what is mapping? A mapping is a data flow diagram which tells us how data flow from source to target. So where's your source and where's your target? Your source and target, you have stored it in repository database. So what all code you have saved it in repository database, you can access through this repository navigator window, right? So this is my source and this is my target, right? So this is the code what I developed, right? So what I need to do now, I need to drag this code into the mapping designer. Okay, so drag and drop. If you see here, when I drag employees table, I got two tables. Why? I'll tell you. So drag the target. When I drag the target, I'm getting only one table. But why I'm getting two tables when I drag the source? Okay. So if you see here, as soon as I drag a source table, I'm getting this something called as SQ underscore employees. This is called source qualifier transformation. A source qualifier transformation is the default transformation in Informatica, which converts the source data types into which integration service understands. So guys, who performs extraction, transformation, loading? I told integration service is going to perform extraction, transformation, loading, right? Integration service cannot understand source data types language. Okay, integration service cannot understand database data type language. So if you see here, what is the data type for employee ID? The data type for employee ID is number. What is the data type for employee ID in the source qualifier? It is decimal. Here, first name, it's n varchar. Here, it's n string. Here, it's date. Here, it's date time. Who changed all those things? Here, it's number precision scale, but here it's decimal. Who changed this? These are translated by source qualifier transformation. Why? Because integration service cannot understand source database data types. Source qualifier transformation is a transformation which converts the source data types into which integration service understands. You can do a lot more things in source qualifier transformation, guys, but at this point of time, I'm not interested to talk much about source qualifier transformation. In a mapping, data flow through links. In a mapping, data flow through links. Okay, you need to pass links between source qualifier to target table. You can give field by field, or else you can select all the fields in a one shot. You can give it. Okay, so this is called mapping. This is called mapping. And mapping is a data flow diagram. Mapping is a data flow diagram which tells us how data flow from source to target. So as soon as you create a mapping, what you need to do, you need to save it. So what all code is saved in your repository database? You have a mapping, you have a source table structure, you have a target table structure, you have a source ODBC connection, target ODBC connection, folder name, etc. Right? So this is all about what you develop in the mapping design. So what would be the next client component? The next client component would be workflow manager. So what you're going to do in workflow manager? In the workflow manager, you're going to create a session. So what session contents of? Session contents of mapping. So what mapping contents of? Source and target. So if you remember, I told you there are two types of connections in Informatica. One is called ODBC connection, other one is called relational connections. ODBC connections are created at mapping designer, whereas relational connections are created at workflow manager level. What is the difference? ODBC connections are used to import the table structures, whereas relational connections are used to extract the data, transform the, Relational connections are used to extract the data, okay, and load the data, right? So click on W, that opens Workflow Manager Client component, okay. So maximize the screen, okay. So click on Tools, click on Task Developer, okay. You'll be getting a task over here. Click on Task, click on Create. Session, you need to follow the naming standard. Session contains mapping, mapping contains source and target, okay. Session followed by mapping name. Click on Create. So is this the mapping? Yes. Click OK. Okay. Click on Done. So session contains what? Session contains mapping. Mapping contains what? Source and target. So if you remember, I told you in session, you need to give the relational connections. Here you need to give the relational connections. So how do I need to create the relational connections? Click on connections. Okay. Click on connections. Click on relational. Click on new. Okay, what is your database? Oracle. Click OK. Give a name. DWH.
Okay, what is that ODBC? Is
ODBC connections are used to import the table structures which are created at mapping design.
no. I'm asking like in relational connection in drop down, it lists different types of database, right? Yeah. That drop down.
These are the different. If you are using a Sybase database, you have to select the Sybase connection. If you are using a Microsoft
okay, so here I could see ODBC also. I'm asking the difference like ODBC and Oracle. Why we chose Oracle?
ODBC is not used. It is used to import the table structures.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So to extract the data from Oracle database, you need to click on New, and here you need to select which database.
Okay.
ODBC connections are just used to import the table structures. Okay, this database relational connections are used to extract the data. So here you need to give a name, DWH_HR. You can give any name, it's up to you. Username would be HR, password would be lowercase HR, connection string would be XE. Click OK. Follow the same steps and give the target relational connections as well. Click on connections, click on relational, click on new, select the database, click OK. DWH_TGT11. It's not mandatory you need to give the same name. It's up to you. You can give any name, but you need to remember this name points to which database. Okay. Now,
usually in connection string, we can give ORCL also, right? Oracle.
No. It depends upon which version of database you have installed, right? When I installed, this Oracle database version, I have got connection string service name as XC. So you have to see it. So if you see here, my service name is XC. Can you see it?
Yeah.
I have installed Express Edition. So it depends upon which version of database you are installing.
Okay.
Okay. So you can give ORCL, but if your service is ORCL, you have to give ORCL.
Got it. And also like that source, the source connection which you are importing, right? The source database. So it can be any source, like as you said, from any database, like DB2 or.
Yeah. In this session, I'm showing you database as source. In coming session, I'm going to show you files as source. It can be anything. Informatica is a powerful tool which is used to extract the data from, different
right.
sources.
Even for loading, also similar thing. Like I can load into any database, or is it only like
you can load it anywhere? You can load it anywhere.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this is my source connection and this is my target connection. This is my source and this is my target. Click on apply, click on OK. So what all code you're going to develop, you need to save it. So session is a set of instructions which tells us how to execute the mapping. So once your session is ready, what would be the next step? You need to create the workflow. So how you're going to create a workflow? Click on tools, click on workflow manager. Okay, you'll be getting a tab called as, where is it? you need to click on Workflow Designer. You'll be getting a tab called as Workflows. Click on Workflows, click on Create. Workflow content session, session content mapping, mapping content, source and target. So this is the naming standard what you need to follow. Click OK. Drag the required session into the Workflow Designer. Click on Task, click on Link Task. Okay, link it. And what all code you have developed, you need to save it in repository database. So this is a sample code which we are going to use in every session. And what is going to change? In between, the transformations are going to change. Okay, in between, the transformations are going to change. So on a daily basis, we are going to build, on a daily basis, we are going to build the same logic. Okay, but here in between source and target, I'm going to talk about transformations. The steps would be same on daily basis. Okay, steps will be same on daily basis. Okay, now what happens? My complete code is developed. The last step would be I need to execute the workflow. So what happens in the backend?
One doubt, like here you say like start is default, from start to sessions it going, right?
Right.
Okay, from can we connect to one session or session to session like that, or how things?
No. Start task. What you understand by the start task? This is used to trigger the session.
Okay.
Start task, which is used to trigger the session. So that's the reason I connected session to start task. Yes, you can connect session to sessions as well, but you require a start task to trigger the session, right? That I'm going to explain you in the coming sessions. Here we don't have multiple sessions to show you a set of sessions to execute. I just started, this is the first session and I have only one session.
Just I'm asking like whether we need to create like different similar start one session like that, or
yes,
from session we can relate to another session.
You can batch n number of sessions in a workflow.
Oh, okay.
You can batch a number of sessions in a workflow, and there's an order. Those are called sequential batch, parallel batch, which I'm going to explain in the coming sessions. Okay. So click on workflow, click on start workflow. So what is going to happen in the backend? So as soon as I click on start workflow in the backend, integration service connects to the repository service. Repository service connects to the repository database using repository service processes, which checks all the validation. And what it do? It extracts the code from repository database and gets into the integration service buffer. Then, using the relational connections, it extracts the data and loads the data. These all things you can see it in a client component that is called as workflow monitor. So servers always execute in the backend, right? So this is called workflow monitor. So you need to know what's happening in the backend. That is important. So how many records are read from source? 107 records. Are there any rejections while reading the data from source? No. How many records are loaded into target table? 107. Are there any rejections while loading the data into target table? No. The job got succeeded. Now go to the database and check whether the data got loaded. So this is my target system, right? So this is how Informatica is used. So what you understand by this session? So we have seen Informatica as an ETL tool which is used to extract the data from HR system and which is used to load the data into some other schema, right? So this is E and L. I have not explained about transformation. So in the next session, I'm going to talk about transformations, etc. Yeah, so now look at this architecture and let me know if you have any questions. Administration console. So how to open the administration console? Start, all programs, Informatica, administration console. This is where you open the administration console. It's a web client component where you can monitor the services. What are the services? Integration service, repository service.
So everywhere the password is same as username in lowercase, right?
Yeah. It's up to you. When I install the tool, I have given in this way.
Okay.
So these are the services. This is called repository service, and this is called integration service. You need to always ensure both the services are up and running. Got it, right?
Got it.
So this is all about Informatica. So daily sessions will be in the same way. In between, the transformations and tool exposure will be taken place. So yeah, this is the arc. So today, what all we discussed? We discussed the architecture of Informatica Power Center, and we have seen how using Informatica as an ETL tool, how to extract the data from source system and how to load the data into target system. And we have seen the different client components in Informatica and how they are used. And we have seen what is the role of services in Informatica, etc. Right? So any questions?
I have one, like in the workflow, that start you have given, right? And somewhere we go and check that output.
That is called workflow monitor.
Okay. In that monitor, you said like 107 rows.
Here.
Yeah. So in case if we have any failure, will it get stored somewhere, like as a report or?
See, here you'll be getting failures. Then you need to open the log file. Everything will be covered in the ongoing sessions. Here you will be getting which record got dropped and why it has rejected. So looking at this error description, you need to fix it. This is called log file.
Okay, but do we get any notification like it got rejected or something?
Yes, obviously you need to set that.
Sorry?
You have to set that property. Yes, you'll be getting notification.
Oh, okay.
It's an advanced topic because those are the options what you need to configure. I have not configured those things as it's a basic session what I explained today.
Oh, okay. No, in real time, like if I build something,
in real time, see, each and every transaction is important. Even if a single record got dropped, that means you are missing a valuable business. So
right.
So you need to ensure
where it will be captured and yeah.
It has to be captured, right?
Yes.
Generally, in real time, what happens? Yes. Generally, in real time, what happens? Even if a single record got dropped, your session is going to be failed. You need to fix it because you need to ensure number of records read from source all got successfully processed. Even if a single record got dropped,
so
that means
if something happened and it got failed, the whole session will fail. So none of the records will get loaded.
Yes, that's an option what you need to configure, and that option is configured by default. In real time, when the code moves in production environment, you need to enable that. Even if a single record got rejected, you need to fail the session and you need to fix it and you need to restart the job again.
Oh, okay. So whatever the success one, it will not load it.
It will not load. It will fail. It will give an alert. You need to fix it.
Oh, okay. So it will roll back the entire thing. Okay, got it.
Yeah, it will roll back. Yeah. It won't commit. Instead of committing, it is going to roll back. If all the records got succeeded, then only a commit statement is going to be fired.
Okay. So anywhere like we will be pointing that committing count or somewhere?
Lot of things. Those all I will explain in the coming sessions.
Okay.
Lot of things. What questions you are asking?
Usually in mainframe, like we will use DB2 connection, right? In programs, we will do the same, like commit statement we will give for every 1,000 or 10,000 records like that.
Yes, everything will be configured because as it's a demo at this point of time, if I tell you all advanced options, then it will be a bit confusing. That's the reason I just explained you a high level overview. See what all you are asking that will be configured here.
Okay.
Just a second. Here, can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Just now you told something like commit in time.
Okay.
Lot of things to discuss. See, I told you session is a set of instructions which tells us how to execute the mapping, but I have not told you what are the instructions, right?
Okay.
So it's an advanced topic. In the first session, I can't cover everything.
No, I didn't expect to cover in this session.
I understand.
I want to know whether we have an option for that or not.
Yeah, I understand. I'm just trying to tell you. In the first session, now we can't explain you everything. It's a lot of options are there in Power Center. We are going to discuss in the coming sessions. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share you the recorded session. Just please go through it 2 to 3 times. Meanwhile, I will also share you, softwares and my installation recorded session. So try to install the tool as early as possible so that, these are the GUI tools. If you put hands on the tool, then only you'll be getting it. Just going through, you feel, it's very easy. But when you put hands on the tool, you won't get it. So my suggestion, I'm sharing you softwares right away in some time. So try to install the tool. So if you practice it, then only you'll get more. Okay.
Sure. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, then let's catch up tomorrow. That's for the day. Thank you. Any questions?
No, I'm good.
No.
That's for the day then. Bye. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.